On the cloud. All right. Hello, all. This is our, well, let me just say hello, all. Hello to my Black Blockchain consultant family and our visitors. Welcome to another Blockchain Influencers and Experts Wednesday interview. I'm Dr. Keisha Waddell, Executive Director of the Center for Blockchain Studies, and we're the education and training arm of the Black Blockchain Consultants. And we're doing our part towards Black Blockchain's mission towards helping educate 1 million Black people about blockchain tech, finding blockchain jobs, building blockchain and blockchain related businesses, as well as investing time and money in blockchain projects. So tonight we're chatting with author and innovative technologist, Black genius himself. You can follow him on Twitter, Mr. Joshua Armah. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Oh.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, okay. Looks like you got some distraction there. You want to get cleared up?
No.
Okay, you're all set. Okay. Well, listen. I do want to just kind of tell you what we're up to right about now. We have several courses that I understand that you are very much into. Oh, he's gone. Well, I guess I'll talk to you guys. I understand that you're very much into education and the like, and so are we. Like I said, I'm the executive director of our education arm, the Center for Blockchain Studies. And why don't you tell us a little more about your STEM programs and your focus on education? Just kind of give us a little background.
Sure. So I personally believe that school failed me. I'm a software engineer by trade, and I believe that technology is a vocation, and that the way it's taught is not right. So I went out after working 10 years in the space of technology and also being a software engineer. I'm huge on, helping people achieve their goals. I believe you should go to college and have a career path that's designed for you, but I don't believe you should get into debt just to fulfill your goal. I don't believe that is a solution. I feel like economically, if we just created more jobs and trained more of our people like China did, if you look at China and East Asia, Middle East, they've trained a lot of people in vocational skills that translate into value, which creates demand for what they do. And now with computer technology at the cusp of everybody, we're now looking at trying to pretty much push a lot of people into a space that maybe we're still on the back end of, and there's a lot of innovation already that's been happening for 8 to 10 years now. And this is like 2019. So it's about to rapidly happen. For me, like I said, education for me is all about hands-on learning, not learning through theory, but learning through practice and taking theory and proving that it works.
You know what? You actually are preaching to the choir. I feel exactly the same way. Even though, essentially my education has been pretty lateral, going, I have all the way up to a PhD, but truly, I really agree with you. I've been in the traditional teaching as a traditional teacher in a traditional setting for over 25 years at this point, but I absolutely agree with you. I work with students who have learning disabilities and emotional impairments, and truly a lot of the programs that I have in my own school district that are, like the STEM focused and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of the techniques and whatnot that are used with those students would really work with my students. So that's what I try to bring to my students is leverage technology and expose them to things like you're saying, micro learning. I really agree with you in the sense that if we would allow students to, focus, come from an area of their interest and wrap around the necessary reading, writing, and arithmetic around what they're interested in, we really get a lot further. I don't think we wouldn't have as much, interest in dropping out, because I teach on the high school level. So people dropping out and things like that. But it's technology that allows that. When you say,
yeah,
because now you can just about learn anything online, and really learn some solid information that makes you quite marketable, like you were just saying. So, I understand that you're quite active in the Atlanta, blockchain scene, and have been in this space for, like you said, what, over 5 years, right? Is that right?
Yeah, so I've been in blockchain. I've been in distributed systems for 8 years.
8.
That's
Okay. Yep. Okay.
and blockchain for 5 because distributed systems is built on top of the same tool set.
That's right.
I am active in Atlanta, but I'm also like for instance, right now I'm in Miami. So I have 3 offices: one in Miami, one in Atlanta, one in Silicon Valley, and
Okay.
for San Francisco. So
Oh.
I'm really pretty much all over the country right now because
Okay. So talk to us. What is your business exactly? All that you have in
my
the.
business, my business, I'm just focused on building Black technology companies. I'm very upfront about putting Black led technology companies first, and
Mhm.
I'm helping a number of companies right now as a technology professional and also as an advisor scale
Mhm.
their business. Like I've been able to secure over 100,000 in Google Cloud credits for multiple startups that I work with, help
Okay.
them create an architecture for their plan, help them build blockchain solutions, take some of my enterprise experience and startup experience and help them create a go-to-market strategy to launch and scale the business. And overall, it's not about one company, it's about an ecosystem. The same way
Indeed.
Microsoft launched, they had a tech stack that allowed many companies to be born. The same way with Ethereum, when that was spun up, it allowed many companies to be born. So essentially building an ecosystem where our technology stack is kind of being spread across many different companies and is all decentralized AI, which is pretty much taking blockchain, which is just a ledger, giving it an intelligent entity to talk
Mhm.
to so that
Yes.
it can have end-to-end cybernetic physical systems implemented on top of it. And a physical system could be, let's say you look at Uber and Lyft, those are intelligent systems that work without a human touching them. And that's an example you put it on blockchain is decentralized AI. So that's like my focus is doing decentralized AI and helping different companies. As you know, distributed intelligence is my baby. I'm a founder of that company, but I also have co-founded 3 other startups with friends of mine that want to quit their jobs or have already quit their jobs and are self-made, and we want to kind of impact the Black tech ecosystem because we believe strongly that it's our time as millennials to circulate opportunities and create jobs.
Well, you know what, Yerk, sounds like you're right in line with what we're trying to do. So let me ask you this then. What have you found to be the biggest challenge in the blockchain space, at the moment? Um, and how is your business having an impact, towards making the correction in that area?
The biggest challenge in blockchain is the lack of interest in understanding what a smart contract is and what blockchain really is on a technical level. The only reason that matters is because if I learn about something new and I go promote it to the world, but I never did my own due diligence, even as a professional, then I'm promoting smoke.
I
That's
hear
a
you.
big problem. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm not. It's not about being technical, but in this era, 2019 and beyond, we have to have a certain level of analytical skills and logical skills to be able to process this information. Most of it is not about blockchain; it's more so about data and the way we deal with data and the way we're holding our data. And digital identity has been the biggest challenge solving. PayPal just invested in their blockchain project, and it's a digital identity play. So that's like
Oh,
an
you know
example.
what? I
Right
may
now,
have to have
like I
you
said,
repeat that. I think we got a little
okay.
locked up there.
I said that PayPal invested in their first blockchain play and is a digital identity play. Now there's also companies like MyCred, which is a financial institution that allows you to do crypto-backed loans.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
they have 300 million in working capital to loan to people that have crypto assets. So you see that a lot of digital identity and credit is becoming the main purpose of blockchain and also fintech. So all these 3 things require analytical skills. They require logical thinking, and they also require a level of understanding what an algorithm is, understanding what data is. And it's not about coding. It's about just where is our knowledge in 2019? Is it still 1942 or is it
Mm-hmm.
2020?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of our knowledge is legacy. The stuff we thought worked is not working anymore. It's broken. So now that we're rebuilding the world, like I said, a lot of people are still trying to catch up to what happened 3-4 years ago, and that's over. And what I mean by that is the issues and the problems. We're in a new period now with, the SEC and some of the other stuff. So not to go on a tangent, like I said, digital identity, fintech, and credit. These are 3 areas that you're seeing move onto blockchain, because if I can identify who I am on a decentralized network, I don't need the government's ID system. I don't need a lot of the systems that exist because it's not decentralized. And then we can move a lot of this onto the platform. We can give the unbanked bankable assets, which are not just Bitcoin and Ethereum, but access to capital, right, and access to resources,
right?
Identity, which is the biggest problem why like certain places in Africa cannot receive funding for certain things, but you can't identify who these people are.
Mm-hmm. So you know what? While you mentioned that we need to have and what you're talking about is a total paradigm shift, and that's what people are struggling with. This is so massively different. How do you kind of help, because you're into education and trying to help people understand this, how do you kind of break it down though? Clearly you're a technologist where you know all the analytical side of it and that kind of thing. How are you able to kind of help people or bridge the gap of people's understanding when this really is such a paradigm shifting type of technology? Are you able to break things down more, in a way that people, young people might, like what advice might you give me? Let's just say, like, I'm a high school teacher. How would I help
well,
understand?
writing software, writing computer code should be a
Mm-hmm.
second language. It shouldn't even be thought of as a skill anymore. This is just like in Georgia, they already have mandated coding as a second language, and a lot of states have already had that in place. And it's just a choice for parents. Like my son is 8 years old. We have him in STEM learning in New Jersey, where I'm originally from. The biggest thing is really just, like I said, writing software and writing computer code is pretty much what I focus on with people. I still code 18 to 16 hours a day, regardless of being a technologist. And that's why I feel like writing code is how you unlock manifesting your ideas. Because if you can say, okay, I have an idea, and I might not know how to engineer Amazon Web Services architecture and deploy it into the cloud, but I can write a smart contract. I can digitize assets. I can create a web app that can speak to people all around the world and allow them to move their payments to give me e-commerce scalability. Meaning, like, if I had something I wanted to buy and sell on the internet and I didn't want to use Shopify, I wanted to use a decentralized way of doing it, I can use Bitcoin and Ethereum as a method of accepting payment, and then have technology in the back end that I wrote myself to secure that asset once it's given to me as a business holder. And being your own bank means you have to be more organized. A lot of people are not prepared for that concept of becoming their own bank. Right. And that's what you gotta really understand. That level of technology is still not bulletproof. So when I say that, I mean banking technology. So understanding code, understanding systems, understanding computer networks, all these things matter, because when you look everywhere, a computer is there. I mean, computers are not just, I have a book I'm releasing soon called The Invisible Machine. And it talks about our new invisible best friend is a computer.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty
there's
much
expectation that's in place. You're right.
That's just basic lifestyle now, that we need to pretty much be ahead of the curve and have our hands on the cusp of technology instead of being consumers of any product. I really focus on software development, 100%, how to write code for blockchain, how to deal with smart contracts, but also how to like rip apart a white paper. I'm sorry.
Okay, got that.
Yeah, how to like rip apart a white paper, how to dissect the white paper, how to take information and parse it and then be able to like question it for its validity. Because a lot of people just will see something and they don't know the difference between a white paper and a yellow paper. There's a huge difference.
And what is the difference? Help our people out here.
A yellow paper is more technical, so it's going to describe the actual mechanics of a system, where white paper is just marketing.
Marketing, exactly. It's a necessary marketing. And again, not everybody is technical, so that marketing document and the white paper is critical. But you know what, too? You talked about coding being a second language, but and to some degree I absolutely agree with you. But how about people who that's not their thing? I'm also hearing you say that if coding itself as the actual act isn't their actual skill set, let's say, what's critical though is that people are able to analyze data, make
Right.
sense of data, um, make sense of these different systems that are coming out new, and then know what to do with them, basically. Um, Let me see here. The question I wanted to ask you, tell me more about your book. I understand you are an author, and you have, this is your second book you're just speaking of, because I heard about
Yeah. Yeah, I published a book in 2015 named
Mhm.
Success Over Everything, and then I went on to turn that book into a Title I approved STEM curriculum that I did and spoke all around the country. Did about 600 books in the first 8 months, and
Mhm.
overall I went around the country on a book tour to spread awareness, because I was in a horrible car accident that a doctor told me when I became blind in my left eye from having over 100 microfractures in my skull and my face caving in, that would not work for 3 years. And he didn't know that I know how to write code. Like, I pretty much knew how to like write code and know how to build websites and build apps and build systems. So I was never worried about it. I was like, you know what, this is still going to be okay. But the book essentially was just about my journey, my life. This book is more oriented with the career I'm in and how I got the financial freedom. Financial freedom for me happened as a small business owner. I mean, I've been a business owner for over 8 years now, because I'm 26 and going on 27, and I've always owned my own business. I never had a W-2. That was never my thought process. So I've always maintained my own lifestyle and been able to kind of do my own thing. And the
Yeah.
main thing about this that I'm going to get into, the invisible machine, is that the bottom line for me is like, keeping my skill set fresh and
Yeah.
keeping it modern was more important than making money. I would do whatever it took to keep a modern skill set, which is how I stumbled into blockchain. So that's part of the reason why, putting out a book to me is the easiest way, because a lot of people in our community, you don't have to write code,
Okay.
but if I gave you a database and I said, hey, query this database and show me, things that are like, for instance, if I wanted to give you a bunch of records, like, here's 1 million records from a corner store, and this is the transactional history in 10 years. They had over 1 million transactions. Give me a query that can show the top transactions and who has been repeat customers of this business.
Okay.
That's something that most people can't even do, and that's sad.
Right. Well,
Look,
yeah.
it's not even
So
coding.
you're talking about just like doing like an access database kind of
Yeah,
thing,
or just a SQL database.
raw data.
Yeah, just a SQL database, just a simple, or even just a bunch of data in an Excel sheet, how to write a function to show data. That simplicity will make you 80 times more than you make at your McDonald's job, or it
Okay.
will increase your salary. So that's what the invisible machine is about. It's about
Okay.
how to
We
can't
lost
see
that.
every day, but it's still like controlling our psyche and turning it into an asset, turning it into something that we can pretty much leverage to get ahead of life. Because if you don't have credit, the next best thing in 2019 is to learn how to make money off your phone, like turning your phone into an ATM, or learning how to make money off your laptop. So I'm launching a brand called Laptop Billionaires, because if you think about it, a lot of billionaires of the modern age became a billionaire off their laptop.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. You know what? You sound like somebody I'm going to definitely keep in contact with, because digital literacy is something that I have a business where that's what I focus on. But my angle is really trying to help people get comfortable, because I'm dealing with like the 40 and uppers already, the ones who are still, kind of feeling like, they don't want to use technology, or they're not sure how they can leverage it, or they're just not using their existing technology in the way that it is in its maximized form. Like you're saying, true enough, just by having a cell phone alone is everything. There's your business in your hand right there. But again, if you're just using your phone to play games with or accessing social media, you're missing it, right? So anyway, there's those kinds of things that I like to show people how, just kind of think about what it is they want to do, and then leverage the existing technology to do it. But I absolutely agree with you in terms of you know, getting everybody into the idea of using, like you said, just the spreadsheet in a more advanced way that can help the logic of things as we go into a fully digitized kind of life, you know, an era. Okay. You know what? I wanted to also ask you too, because the Black Blockchain consultants are made up of people who wish to start businesses and that kind of thing. We're not coders, though, as you kind of mentioned. We are interested in being consultants. What kinds of things outside of the coding part are you finding companies need support in?
It's user experience. It's all about user experience. What blockchain is missing is like having if you look at a house that has no walls or interior design and it's just cables and wires, that's blockchain right now. It's a house with no interior design. And us as African Americans, we have such creative skills. If you really want to be, I've evolved into more of a product manager because at the end of the day, if we don't have user experience or customer experience design thinking inside of these applications or blockchain use cases, is useless. So that's one of the biggest areas to make all your money in. You can make over $100,000 per contract just on a design strategy meeting.
Design strategies. Okay. Okay.
And
what kind of skills do you
Google Ventures
in particular? I'm curious.
You need to understand how to design a successful business. So I'm gonna give you an example. Okay. So do you use Instagram?
Do I do Instagram? What? Do I have one? With Instagram? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So let me give you an example. When you go through Instagram and you see Nipsey Hussle died, didn't that probably affect you in a negative way?
In a negative way?
But if you see like your family posting like they're on vacation, it probably makes you happy, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's the user experience. That is driving your emotions into the app and psychologically creating a design flow that is around your psychology, because the biggest science experiment is a human brain. And apps, they're not just programming you like TV programming or mobile programming. It's all about how to take the human psyche and create a intangible value that you can be attracted to, and then create some level of addiction for your everyday need. And that's feeding you dopamine. That need to go and wake up and say, I need to check my LinkedIn. Trust me, it wasn't just computer coders that came over Instagram or LinkedIn. It was very intense design strategy around human psyche on how to apply it. And there's something called neuro-linguistic programming. That's what Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, and a lot of motivational speakers use, which is just a form of programming the mind. So that's what they're doing with apps, is programming the mind. And user experience is about programming the mind. When you hear people talk about user stories or user personas and having a design system with certain colors, colors, emotion code, blue, give you,
Oh, we got locked up. Go back to the colors. I think we got locked up again.
No, I'm saying the color guide of most corporations, like blue may have a feeling of calmness and red may be excitement, right? So these things, Facebook is blue on purpose. It's blue because it wants to establish trust with you. That's why the interface is like that. So design is everything. If you notice, a lot of corporations use this in their branding. So anyone that's a branding professional can take their branding knowledge. If you work with rappers or entertainers or corporate marketing, you can understand how to take user experience and apply it with any product. Because at the end of the day, a product does one thing amazingly well, not many things okay. So that's what you got to solve, is that user experience, and how does this simple solution solve many problems for a person like myself. Like I might want to go on a trip and I might say, hey, I need to find a cheap ticket. I need to find something that is, so there's something that is available, which is an app like Hopper that allows you to find cheap airfare on demand, and you can just get them and go. That right there, you can make $50,000 off a strategy session, no work, just talking in a whiteboarding session. That alone is a billable item, because people are missing how to make things fun, how to make things dope, how to make things cool. Data is not sexy. Technology is not sexy. People have to make it sexy. So human-centered design is what it's about, and that's another thing I specialize in outside of coding. So I take my technical background and apply it with design, and then you have a amazing situation there. So that's something I really drill down on when I'm working and helping other people, scale and launch their companies.
I see. I see. These are great tips. We're getting feedback from some folks here in our chat area, and they're saying, great tips. Definitely, I'm hearing a lot of opportunities here to leverage really your soft skills and some of the soft sciences, applying it to the this very technical environment. Because you're right, user experience and making sure things are, um, very easy for people to use, appealing, those kind of things is what will absolutely make your dollar. And those are things that we can do even as people who might not be coders and things like that. Those are definitely things we can bring to light.
But no matter what, I'm in the people business before anything. And I always share with my friends and family and people that want to get into technology, look at product management, because product managers sit in the middle and they help tech, marketing, business communicate together. And you just have to be technical enough. You have to have enough marketing savvy. But your idea is you're the CEO of the product. You're the Superman for the customer, not for the company. You're the guy going after if you were like Yelp and you had issues, you'll be in a Yelp meeting with the board of directors saying, we have a crazy issue with our customer review process. We need to fix it. Not, our company's down 3 points this quarter, right? You're championing the customer. So if you love customers, if you love the people business, product management is for you. And you don't need a degree to do that. You need to have insight into what human design thinking is. Human-centered design thinking is a very important thing to understand and learn. And that's something I teach privately. That's something that you teach as well in an indirect way. And all of that matters because if you don't know how to analyze data, how can you make decisions and you don't understand what descriptive statistics is or inferential statistics are? You don't understand what, how to take a historical record and see patterns in it. And then, be able to make decisions based off of the data you're analyzing. That's what you need to be able to do. It's all about making better decisions with data. And because it's not about being data driven, but data informed, taking your past experience and improving the decisions you make with the data available to you. And there's a lot of data, trust me. I mean, that's why it's so valuable. Data is the new oil, and that's why every company you see is going after data more than anything. I mean, right now, the average Facebook user could be worth $10 for an advertiser. So if you think about 2 billion users, that's what gives Facebook so much value because we spend so much time on Facebook. And one last growth hack I'll share with you is that most startups or most blockchain companies are trying to solve one main problem. And that's DAU and MAU, which is daily active users and monthly active users, and the metrics around that. How much time does a person spend on our platform? What makes them stay on our platform? Why do they need our platform? How do we keep them around us on a daily basis and monthly basis to then scale our users, right? So how do we create a word of mouth that keeps people on our platform further? Instagram use stories. That's why people are on Instagram more now, because they're able to just post. The needs. I'm sorry. It's different things that happen in blockchain and in regular technology that help people become addicted to the technology, like Microsoft Word doc, your Gmail. I'm pretty sure you check Gmail all the time, right? So these are things that are, even Zoom, what we're using right now to talk together without being in person. All these things matter. And there's a product manager and someone that did user experience before this was even launched. They had to think it through before someone like us used it.
That's right. That's right. Well, you know what? You've given us a lot of things to think about and a lot of entryways to get into this space, from the youth all the way up to the middle-aged person like myself. I really thank you so much for your time this evening. I know you've been busy with your traveling and whatnot. We're like half hour into our time together, and you really dropped a lot of nuggets. So listen, I want to make sure that you are aware of our virtual conference that we have coming up. We're going to be spotlighting blockchain basics in June 12th. We'll be talking about blockchain careers and business opportunities. We'll definitely be keeping in mind the things that you just shared. We'll spotlight Black-owned blockchain projects, as well as what's happening in Africa and the Caribbean. We will be learning how to involve ourselves in equity ownership opportunities and focusing on blockchain benefits within our own Black communities. We're expecting a tremendous amount of value because it's going to be an all-day experience from 9 to or is it 9 to 9? I think it's 9 to 9, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So it's running all day. So, you know what, thanks so much for your time this evening, Joshua. Like I said, I'll keep in touch with you because I think you'll be able to really help me think some things out as I'm kind of dealing with my own students who are high school students and just trying to get them to that place where they have a sense of confidence and a sense of, sense of empowerment, really, to tell you the truth. But before I go, we do have a question here. It says, what new trends do you see that are on the blockchain horizon? Before we go.
So recently I partnered with a guy by the name of Dr. Ben Gortzel in an organization called DIA, which is Decentralized AI and Alliance. And what that stands for is there's a bunch of blockchain projects that are all around the world that are coming together to solve artificial intelligence that can become decentralized. If you think about Siri, if you think about Cortana with Microsoft, if you think about Google Assistant, these are not decentralized AI. This is a centralized system that is feeding off of your information and your data and is becoming smarter by the day. So one of the biggest trends that is actually here right now, and then this is like a real big thing, is the fact that you know what happened in France with the yellow jackets?
No, what happened with
the yellow jacket? Well, people can't access their funds. People cannot access their money. Their banks will not give them money. In France, it's been a riot. People have been dying in France, in Paris. People are going crazy right now. What if that happens in America?
Yeah. Okay.
What if our comfortable lifestyle is not around no more?
Right.
Are you prepared to go off the grid? That's a real trend. Hyper-localizing our resources and understanding not to rely on centralized systems, that if your debit card doesn't work, what are you going to do?
Right. I hear you.
That's so that's where Bitcoin and all this other stuff, you're going to see the value go crazy high if some of these things happen. So a lot of things are around home services. You'll be surprised that Google's biggest business moves right now are around home services. It's not just AI and all this other stuff. And home services, like your refrigerator telling you that you're low on a gallon of milk, so it automatically places an order with Amazon and drop ships it to you, and you have more milk.
Internet of Things, but isn't that essentially to gather more data? Right.
Yeah, but just also what they're trying to really do is make everything voice enabled, where you can just speak what you need to AI and it makes it happen, and it is here. That's building off of on-demand services. So right now you make anything an on-demand service with like a marketplace, but then the next thing is making something voice enabled.
And
so
again, a faster way to get data from all types of people. You don't have to worry about folks who are feeling like they can't operate their tech. Everybody can talk, even though there's still a skill in the way you talk to a Siri or talk to a Google Home and that kind of thing. So again, that's kind of where my business comes in, is how, with each one of these kind of technologies like that, there's a certain skill set that becomes created for that, to use those tools effectively.
Right.
But,
I do want to plug in two startups I work with that I'm a co-founder in. One is called 8-Fit Byte. 8-Fit Byte is a marketplace for freelancers to get paid in bonus pools. And the way that works is typically freelancers only are paid for the work they do. But platforms like Upwork never give them bonuses. So we have a technology we've been building and about to launch that allows freelancers to get paid in bonus pools, like fantasy sports, where the better work you do, you can participate in a bonus pool to earn extra money for doing good work for clients.
Incentivizing it, essentially.
Yeah. And the founder, Brandon Cooper, he's from Detroit, now based in LA.
Easy.
So he's a good brother. And then
I think I missed what you said. What's the name of the startup?
8-Fit Byte. APHIDBYTE.
Oh,
dot
wow.
com.
I may need you to put that in the chat. Or do you have access to?
Yeah.
Or yeah, type that out so for our
And
visitors.
the
Oh, there we
second
go.
one is called
Awesome.
Sorry
Yeah, I
Gone
would have
Global.
gotten that right. Okay, yeah, thank you.
The second one is called Sorry Gone Global, and it's pretty much allowing you to get on-demand travel itineraries, so you don't have to try to plan your own trip, and you just book it and go.
Interesting. And
And then being able to sell your travel data through the blockchain and being rewarded through crypto.
blockchain price. And these are also black owned, these
Yeah, I'm a
two?
co-founder in both.
Oh, okay. All right. These are tremendous. Okay.
Yeah, so you can check those out. So you'll be seeing stuff like this from me a lot. And I mean, consulting is important, but also I advocate for people to come up with a product themselves that they can also monetize and have long-term wealth. Because it's very important to understand intellectual property rights and patent technology. This is a good time to get your hand in that game.
Awesome.
So that you're not just stuck consulting, but you can leverage the fact that I've been on patent pending technology projects, or I've been on, stuff that has IP and is in the market and is working. And I've also been able to leverage that same IP to do other business and consulting help projects. Like that's something that a lot of consultants I feel should really pay attention to. Developing their own IP at the end of the day and not just sitting around waiting for the next. Don't just work for the person you're working for. Come with something bring something to the table that you've already done research on and kind of built out, even if it's not a code base, it can just be diagrams and a design strategy or something around that, because it could tremendously help monetize their pockets.
Okay. And your next new book, when will that drop?
Within 60 days, I'm going to be announcing the release date very shortly, within the next week or two. Or within
And we would follow you on Twitter, Black Tech Genius?
Everything is Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my primary,
LinkedIn's primary for you?
Yeah, but everything is Black Tech Genius, even Telegram, everything. That's just my dream.
So that's where we can find you is Telegram, LinkedIn, Twitter.
Yeah. And also blacktechgenius.com. That's launching soon next week. So everything will be up. So I'll make sure to share that.
Okay, very good. Yeah, if you could do that, because I know I was trying to find it and some things, and something was going on with the URLs. It wasn't working for me. So that's great to know. And you said, can you type that one in there too? The URL and of the company that's going to be, not company, but your site that's going to be launching, so we can follow up with you on this.
Yeah, I just shared it with you. I literally just put it in the chat.
Yes, very good. We appreciate it. Okay. Okay, you know what? I want to thank you so much for your time, Joshua. You have really dropped some major information on us here to consider, and we appreciate that. And we'll be definitely looking into these two sites that you just shared with us, as well as your own. Okay, so much success to you on your book coming out in 60 days, you say?
Yeah.
In another 60 days. All right. Well, thanks so much for your time. All right. Well, this has been our interview with Joshua Armah, and we thank you guys. Good night. All right. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.